Welcome to the next chapter for the Lord of the Change model. In this chapter, it will only be a short chapter. We will tackle the staff. We proceed like we did with a lot of the parts. So first the wet and wet blending, and then some controlled work for the highlights, and some fine detail work for stuff like the cracks and the little gems. So I hope you enjoy this chapter. Have fun. Alright, so you can see I've painted the lower half of the staff already, and yeah, I'll just show you how to continue like that on the upper part. First you can see we've rearranged the palette, so light turquoise here, scurvy green from Game Color there, flat red, some of the scrofulous brown, some black, some white, and the Schmincke titanium white, and here another additional dot of blue, so we can mix some nice purple here from the flat red and the light turquoise. And for the first step we don't need the purple, but just so we have it already in the palette. Okay, so we need, for the next step, we need some black, a little bit diluted. Not too much. So we want it to we want it to be translucent, so somewhere between a heavy glaze and a light layer consistency. Okay. Might be a little bit too thick still. I think that's good. Okay, and we will start just applying it here to the upper part of the staff. And we want it to be translucent, so the black and white foundation is showing through still just a little. Okay, and a bit thinner here. And now we're adding some of the scurvy green here, also diluting that to heavy glaze. And we're just wet blending that here directly on the surface. And you can see how we get already like quite a nice transition to start with. We will let that dry, and while that dries I can do the very same on the other side, and yeah, then we'll back for the highlights. Alright, so here we are with the staff nicely dried. You can see, because of the translucent consistency of our paint, the white here that is shining through gives already quite a nice indication of where the lights go. So now we'll just use the color that we find here and just highlight these accordingly. So here we have a mixture of the scurvy green and black. And we're taking a bit of the white. And you can see consistency wise, this is something like a medium layer. And with a bit of the darker color. Here also similar consistency, just pulling the highlight here, pulling that out, and I'm trying to really get the highlight all over the top edge here. Okay, and a little bit more of the scurvy green and some white. I'm trying to get like a more saturated highlight. Consistency wise, this is a bit thicker now. Okay, and again with a slightly darker tone, I'm softening those out. Okay, and here with a bit more black, because we're moving here towards the mix area where we have like stronger desaturation in the green. We're continuing with the highlights here on the top. And we're also mixing a bit of gray here on the palette. And we're using that here for the upper part. So now we can see that we already have like a very interesting gradient also in the highlights. We still need to work a little bit on the definition. So here we want this here to be just a little bit brighter in general. And with a clean brush, just pulling it here over the surface. Okay, and I'm using some of the Scurvy Green black base color here to get a little bit better definition here in the shadows. Okay, just placing it here, cleaning the brush and feathering it out here. As you can see, we get like a very nice sharp shadow there. And we'll do the same here. Okay, so for the highlights I have to continue like that on the upper part and also here on the other side. But I think I will just do one little step here before I finish that off cam. We will take a little bit of the purple here and mix it with some of the flat red, and to get a slightly more red purple tone. Okay, and with the purple tone, we'll just put that here on those little spikes. Okay, so first one coat that covers quite well, and then we'll create a glaze of the same tone. So like a medium glaze, and just use that here around those little thorns to give the impression that the material changes slightly its color. Okay, so I've continued with softening out the highlights, and yeah, I think the next thing that we'll do is we'll paint the gems first. So let's start with the blue ones. So for the blue ones we need some of the light turquoise, some black, like a dark blue, and we'll use that as a base tone here for those two. And the purple one, for this one here, that is hardly visible. So now just some pure light turquoise in a medium layer consistency. So now that it's softened out, we just need the top highlight. Okay, and to really have the effect that it looks like the light is shining through the gem, we'll just add a bit of blue here directly next to the gem. And also just glaze it a little bit, just using like a very light glaze. Just glazing here a little towards the lower side of the gem. Okay. Same here on the lower side. Okay, now that we have the lights under the gems established, we can also continue with the highlights here on the spikes, and we will do them with purple and a bit of white highlight color here on the front of the brush. Okay, so again, a medium glaze consistency, a bit of white on the tip. Okay, and I'm cleaning the brush and just feathering out the highlight here. Okay, another quite cool element, I think, are these little cracks that we see here. So we'll paint these on here as well now. Okay, so just using a bit of the pure black. Okay, now we're trying to have like really thin lines. The perfect correct look is that you really get like a natural flow of the line and don't try to make lines that are too straight. So sometimes it's a little hard to see with just the dark lines, so what we'll do now is we will add some highlight lines, and that is just really the very same done with any scratches, so just on the lower side. And a bit more pink ones here for the top. And here where we have like the more neutral gray highlights, we also want our highlight to be just gray, so white and some gray in the back of the brush. So yeah, we'll just continue like that on the upper part. Okay, now that we have painted the staff, I will just take the model off cam a while and paint the arms and finish the magic non-metal details. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and see you for the wings.